In the rewrite tonight, Republican Senate leader Mitch McConnell is a proud Kentuckian and a proud father of 3 daughters, but he chose to spend Father's Day this year as far away from Kentucky as he possibly could get in the continental United States. He was happily ensconced in the palatial St. Regis Monarch Beach Resort in Dana Point, California, the beachfront neighborhood favored by the richest of the rich in one of the state's most Republican counties. He was surrounded by billionaires and mere millionaires at a conference hosted by the billionaire Koch brothers, where conservatives fervently shared their hopes and dreams for America. Mitch McConnell did not have to enlist them in his dream of winning back control of the Senate for Republicans, because the people in attendance have already been heavily contributing money to that effort. What Mitch McConnell gave them was a picture of what that dream come true would look like on the Senate floor. And that dream was caught on audio tape, which surfaced today in The Nation and on the Undercurrent website. Mitch McConnell had absolutely no difficulty convincing his audience how important control of the Senate is. They realized correctly that it is the single most important thing at stake in this year's election. Campaign contributors know that, which is why Mitch McConnell's re-election campaign to the Senate is attracting more money on both sides than any other Senate campaign in the country, and is on track to become the most expensive Senate election in history. Senator McConnell is in the fight of his political life to save his Senate seat, because his Democratic challenger, Allison Lundergan Grimes, is consistently tracking within a couple of points of Mitch McConnell in polls, which is basically a tie, and that is normally a very bad indicator for an incumbent, because generally the remaining undecided voters tend to break for the challenger. McConnell has been a senator in Kentucky for 30 years. Voters who haven't already made up their minds to vote for him probably have a reason why they're not going to vote for him. And no one in politics understands that better than Mitch McConnell himself, which is one of the reasons he flew out to California to tell conservative billionaires what they wanted to hear, so they would pour even more money into his campaign. There is much more at stake in control of the Senate than what Mitch McConnell discussed with his audience on Father's Day. He didn't even mention the Senate's unique power to control presidential appointments, especially appointments to the United States Supreme Court, the most important appointments of all, because Mitch McConnell was so focused on speaking very directly to the concerns of the billionaire business class, pushing back against the bureaucracy, pushing back against regulatory overreach. That was his message. I will make it easier for you to do business. He actually understated the importance of control of the Senate. And what he ended up doing is promising that if he becomes the majority leader of the Senate next year, he will make sure that the Mitch McConnell-led United States Senate will accomplish absolutely nothing, because every single thing he actually promised to the billionaires would be vetoed by President Obama if it ever made its way to the White House in the form of a bill passed by both the House and the Senate. Every single thing. The strangest thing that Mitch McConnell said to his audience on Father's Day was this. So that was the worst day of Mitch McConnell's political life. Not the day that Bill Clinton signed what was then the biggest increase in history into law. Not the day that Mitch McConnell had to bend to President Obama's will and himself vote for an increase in the top income tax brackets. And not the day when he realized that there were no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq after he voted for an exploratory war in Iraq to find the non-existent weapons of mass destruction. No, no, no. The worst day of Mitch McConnell's political life was when a campaign finance bill became a law, a largely ineffectual law with the unrealized aspiration of controlling money in politics. And since the passage of that ineffectual law, money has flowed into politics in greater and greater amounts, and Mitch McConnell found himself right in the middle of the current of that powerful flow of money in Republican politics when he said that the worst day of his political life was when a campaign finance bill became a law. Jonathan Hurst, Alison Lundgren Grimes' campaign manager, told the Courier-Journal today that such a statement is outrageous. There have been many bad days this country has had over the last 30 years, and he's saying that's the worst day of his career. The worst day of Mitch McConnell's political career might turn out to be on November 4th, 2014, when Kentucky voters will choose between Mitch McConnell and Alison Lundgren Grimes.